Earth, birthplace of the human race. A species much like our own, capable of great compassion and great violence. For in our quest to protect the humans, a deeper revelation dawns. Our worlds have met before.
Hello and welcome to Jam Table. This is Transformers, the Regenesis Wars, and I am Andy, and these are my players. And hi, say hi. We are going to get started here in a minute, but just a couple of things. We have a stream tonight, but you should definitely survive this fantasy. That's what we're playing. It is a game by Bloat Games, and we have a few guest cast members, so that's a lot of fun. Catch that tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then if you want to get involved, 500 bits gives the table an adventure card, or gives everyone a Benny, including me. 100 bits is a Benny for anyone. A subscription is a conviction, which means they can add a D6 to any one of their rolls. So that's a couple of ways that you can get involved, and I'm going to let people start introducing themselves. We'll start from the top down like we normally do, which will mean we're starting with Ewan. And I am going to get the cameras fixed, so don't mind me.
Hello everyone, I'm Ewan. I'll be playing Ash. No, not Ash. Andrew.
What?
I'm playing Andrew.
Character switch.
I don't know why I did that, but yay. Yeah, he's the scavenger. And well, he's hoping this situation doesn't go worse than it did the last few times.
And then we will go to Christian, who's actually playing Ash.
I'm Christian. I am playing the somewhat mysterious Ash, who is not yet met with the group, but it's going to be quite an interesting scene when we do.
At least we fixed your alignment.
Let's see here. And then we will go to Kurt, who is playing Gale, and I'm going to be fixing his camera, so yeah, don't you worry about that.
And I'm muted. Hello, I am Kurt, and I'm going to be playing Gail Ruthridge, and I am learning a lot about my character, and being that I escaped from the KSI laboratory, it turns out I am mostly a robot. And I am part of what is called a triple changer, I believe. And Sunstreaker is my transformer. Or my transformer. I don't know if I can be possessive with a sentient being, but somehow we hook together, and we haven't figured that out, though I'm pretty sure Tetra will continue trying to take my head off until she does figure it out.
And then you might be safe.
We're more focused on limbs at this point.
We figured out that the head is too difficult to take off, so we're focusing on limbs at this point. Yeah.
Indeed. You can survive without a limb.
And we are currently in Louisiana, so we've made a run for it.
Okay, so yes, you had... We'll start right from there, actually. You guys had moved into the...
Wait, Christian should introduce himself.
Yeah, you skipped me too.
Oh god, I'm sorry.
Flip.
And Flip. No, Christian introduced himself, Lyrica, and Flip. Sorry, excuse me. Trying to get camera set. Did not mean to cut you guys off.
That's okay.
Did you see that, Lyrica?
It's okay. We're both dead. It's fine.
They actually don't exist anymore.
We're big
The,
in your imagination.
Do the Infinity War dust out of existence?
I don't feel so well.
Oh, too soon.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, hi, I'm Lyrica. I'm on a lot of these streams. I was on a stream last night. And you can find me on Instagram, probably on Facebook too, I don't care. Here I am playing Kate, who is probably my favorite character. She's, I think 16 or 17. Tiny slip of a girl who is a mechanic slash prepper with like a manic personality. She jumps into things without thinking, blows stuff up, takes stuff apart, puts it back together, maybe. Theoretically makes it better, or just different. Whatever. I think that's all for me.
So then we will go to Flip, who is playing Tetra.
Hey everybody, I'm Flip. I apologize for not being on cam today. I'm not feeling so hot, but I'm still here, and we're gonna kill some Decepticons today. I play Dr. Tetra Batara, the only one in the group with a PhD. And also the only one with a severe phobia of frogs, which has not come up yet, so there we go.
Frogs?
Bronze.
Oh, I thought.
Bronze.
Yeah, you
I
see,
thought
it's
you
not
said bronze.
very well known, but when bronze oxidizes, it creates a severe neurotoxin. Everybody should know that. But if you're around bronze, even for like a little bit, you will get affected by a terrible neurotoxin. It causes pain, it causes impotence,
And Kate's like,
hyperactivity. Kate's probably got it with the hyperactivity. I mean, it's just not, it's not a good situation. Stay away from bronze.
That is her thing. That is her quirk. And so
No, you can't detect it. You can't detect it by microscope. It's just there.
it's just there, right?
You gotta know about it.
It's like dark matter.
It's exactly like dark matter. Dark bronze. Neurotoxin. Watch out for that stuff.
You gotta watch out for that stuff. Let's see here. Oh, we lost Christian on cam. Let's see. Hopefully it won't shuffle everyone when it comes back on. We'll
It's on
see.
my end. I don't know what's up.
Okay. But
There you go.
it is. Good. Okay, it's fine. Didn't shuffle anyone. So we will start with. You guys had arrived at this small town, Madison Parish. It was the name of the town. If someone wants to do a recap, then for the Benny, I know that one of you has Unlucky and starts out with less Bennies than the others.
Just have a quick question about this small town in Louisiana. Is there a girl there living in a lonely world?
There is, for sure.
We have to find a train.
Wow.
Would it be going anywhere?
As long as it's on midnight.
No, no. Stop. No, I'm kidding. This is just gonna go on and on and on.
Yeah, it's already stuck in my head, and I am trying my damnedest not to start humming it.
I know.
So.
And I will not make the mistake of asking it to be sung.
Yeah, don't do it. I'm trying desperately not to get our.
Do we want? I've got notes. Or does somebody else want to do basics for the extra Benny?
Well, I am unlucky, but I also don't have a very good memory of last session, so go ahead.
If Gary wants to.
No, I have notes as well, but I bet yours are better
We
because
fought some Decepticon threw in a cabbage truck and made it
but
to Louisiana.
I did it last time, so why don't you do the basics, and if there's anything I need to add, I can add it.
okay.
And
So,
you can get the Benny.
we find out. Well, can I fill everyone in on what's happening with Ash? Right? I mean, right. So Ash wakes up. He's at the same lab in a very similar test tube as the one I was in. And he appears to be a soldier for Nest, an elite group called Cemetery Wind, is that right? It's part of the Headmaster program? Yes?
Yeah.
Savoy is Ash's troop leader. And they have been sent to track, or they're going to track the tracking beacon that we deployed, is that right?
Down towards Corpus Christi, yeah.
And so we ditched that in Texas in a river in a bottle, I believe. And then we headed into the swamps of Louisiana because there's Transformers outpost there, stronghold, I guess. And Kate sent out an APB to other Transformers that we would be meeting there, and Bulkhead heard the APB. So that is.
He was already in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been hiding out here for a while. I guess I'll see you when you get here," kind of thing.
The only thing I didn't write down is if any other Transformers heard the APB that we know of, or we don't know that. Maybe
We don't know that.
And that another antenna-like thing has popped up in other locations. But I thought you said more than London and Egypt, but I only wrote down those two. So.
Yeah,
Those are
no,
the only ones we
those
got
are the only ones.
confirmation.
Yeah.
Okay.
that we know of so far.
So we are in a small town in Louisiana where I wanted to have a 80s movie montage with outfits to look the part at the consignment store, and I was brutally rebuffed by Andrew, and someone came in to save our ass and play the part, I think, but maybe I am not remembering that
I
correctly.
played the card that we found everything that we needed in a situation, and specifically I said clothing, medicine, food, water, those kinds of things, weapons.
Okay.
And
All right.
so you guys have kind of gathered your equipment, and you already left. You arrived at the small town. And let me give
Shortwave?
you a benefit.
After we fought a cabbage truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, an aside, so we had Shortwave. I found out that he cannot just turn into a boombox, he can change into a scooter, which is fun. And then we had a dramatic task, and that was when I sent out that boosting the signal to other Autobots and got a hold of Bulkhead. Andrew suggested being more discreet, and all of the Autobots changed into older, more beat-up versions, except for Cup, who is already a military vehicle, so he looks beat up anyway. He's an old style. We have Red Alert, which is an ambulance. Cup, which is the green Jeep. And then Sunstreaker, which is the yellow sports car, only now I think instead of like a Lamborghini, he's more like a Mustang, an old beaten up Mustang.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, once we got to the small town, Ash, I believe, was prepped for battle. The Transformers that were either under control or are Decepticons, it's kind of iffy to me because they sounded like they were under some sort of influence, not necessarily the way they were supposed to be thinking individually. Turned on the humans that they were supposed to be paired with, at which point I played a card and said, no, I need to short a system, and I chose to break the control over Sideswipe so that he could grab Ash and Marissa, which was his love interest, and get out of there. And at that point, while we were on the road, I think, we got confirmation where Sunstreaker got some sort of ping and was like, holy crap, I thought you were dead. And Sideswipe was like, yeah, I thought you were dead too. And I think that's basically where we ended.
Yep.
Yeah. By our powers combined.
So, we will go right into, you guys arrived in the town, and Gale tried to do the talking thing. It did not pan out so well. Some people actually shut windows to doors, and now you're standing there where, like, on this empty, very small town street with the Transformers that you've sort of been paired with at this point, and they've all taken on the form of old, beat-up vehicles. And you know that you're supposed to be meeting Bulkhead here, but you don't know where. So you're gonna have to do some looking around.
Hey.
Think. How I should be able to somehow link with Sunstreaker, or right? Like, we should be able to ping where other Transformers are, right? Maybe.
No.
Well, I mean, the other thing is we are in Louisiana, so I would think that we would be closer now and probably easier able to get a hold of Bulkhead wherever he is in the area.
Didn't we leave a specific set of coordinates to meet at?
And actually, you guys said you gave coordinates to the town that you were meeting in. And so what you can see of the town, there's like a small little like general store, convenience store. There is a hardware store, and then obviously like a gas and automotive shop there. And then outside of that, like maybe a few family owned like thrift store, consignment shop type things. And that is about it. But
There's like a corner store, a gas and auto shop, family businesses, or like consignment shops, and that's about all.
yeah, and that's about it. And you can see though, like this is a very traditional like two streets intersect, and that is your town square type of setup.
With one flashing red light.
One flashing red light. Yep, exactly. That's weekly flashing at this point. And
it may look more yellow than red at this point.
Right. And so you can see that there are obvious houses, you know, dotted very sparsely past this intersection, heading out further into the swamps, you know.
So there's not many vehicles that we can actually see.
Give me a notice roll, all of you.
Yeah, because I want to hold on to that feeling.
Is that including me, Andy?
No, you don't have to do it yet, but I will get to you in a moment.
I'll take your time.
Nice.
Oh, I'm being crazy right now. Okay. Notice. Oof.
It makes sense that the scavenger and the street slash like mechanic rat are the ones that notice things.
Totally. So you would notice actual like military grade tracks heading into the bayou on a dirt road that has quite a bit of like muddy potholes, and you can't really see with the dense like underbrush and like hanging Spanish moss where it goes. It just kind of seems to meander off into the swamp.
But we know that that's the path we're going to need to take, probably.
Yep, probably so.
So, trying to find Bulkhead first. Most of the people have already gone in, so I'm just going to walk up to each of the cars, knock gently on the bonnet and go, "Is that you, Bulkhead?"
And so give me a stealth.
7.
Okay, so the town people don't seem to notice you looking like a total crazy person. And
I don't care what they think of me.
right, and you make your way through town, checking all of the vehicles that you see, and none of them respond. But as you make your way further into town, you see the tracks continue down this road that meanders off into the swamp. There aren't any houses out this way. Now, it does seem like, now that you've moved further along, that you can see the end of the road. It dead ends, and there's a small dock with quite a few boats tied to it.
Okay.
This is the edge of town, one direction.
Mm-hmm.
And did any of our... He snuck off to do this by himself, correct? Or did we all follow him?
I mean, that's up to you guys if you wanted to be walking with him.
I wasn't being particularly sneaky about it. So.
Okay. I hate the water. I have a aversion to water for my character, so I will not be going. I'm going to like kind of stroll up and down the sidewalk looking at the different businesses that are there, you know.
Okay.
If I notice any town people, I will try again to talk to them.
So Sunstreaker is going to be staying with you. Lyrica, obviously, Shortwave's going with Kate wherever she is going. Now,
Kate would probably not be walking around. She would be trying to find somewhere where they could bunker down, hide all of the vehicles so it doesn't look out of place to have a whole bunch of vehicles in one space.
Okay.
Like whether or not she can find an abandoned warehouse, or she can find like a barn or something on the outskirts where she can set up not necessarily a workshop, but a safe place for people to meet.
I love
it's not
it.
going to draw too much of attention. And then she'll probably work with Shortwave to try and get in touch with Bulkhead again and see where he is. And then if Sunstreaker was around or wanted to see if they could boost the signal to get a hold of Sideswipe again, she would try and work with him and Gale and Shortwave to see if they could get in touch with him and see how they're doing.
Okay, so give me a notice first. Nice. So as you are moving through town the other direction, kind of wandering away, trying to figure out where you can go, you've got Shortwave wandering along. Well, he's probably in his boombox form, just as you're like carrying him around, you know? And you notice heading out of town on the other crossroad is almost so far away from town square that the sign isn't visible as a foreclosed sign. And a large wrought iron black fence that's almost been reclaimed by the underbrush of the swamp.
Other side of town. Foreclosure sign. And it's just like an overgrown wrought iron fence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's gonna try and find wherever the entrance would be. Kind of idea, see if there's a gate, something that pulls back, some way that she could leave the overgrowth in place, just cut a few places and swing it out and swing it back into place so it still looks like it hasn't been touched.
Yeah, okay, so why don't you give me your I want you to be able to use like your crafty abilities for this. So
it would be like that would be repair. But
yeah, do repair because I don't think that they're like it's not high tech enough to count as anything other than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like electronics.
Right. Exactly.
And are we all here right now?
Yeah. And so, Flip, what do you want to be? What does Tetra want to be doing?
What's going on right now? I'm sorry.
You've gotten out of the vehicles. Kate has wandered down the street one way. Ewan has wandered down the street another way with Cup and Verity. So...
And we're here looking for Bulkhead, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go help Kate. I used to take care of some plants as a hobby. And I'm going to try to help find, make sure that wherever we cut, the vines, like we're not actually cutting it off from the root system because otherwise half of that vine is gonna die, which would be super super obvious that somebody's been here.
Okay, well, if you want to give Kate try to give Kate some extra successes, you definitely can, but she did pretty darn well.
Oh, yes, he did. Holy crap. Alright, I'll do it anyway. What would that be?
You can... Yeah, science, academics.
Nice, I didn't help at all.
You didn't. But she's like, it's okay, I got this. Look, it's right here. And she, like, snips one of the chains that holds the gate closed and opens it just slightly, wide enough for the vehicles, and the vines and things that have started to reclaim it stretch almost to their maximum without breaking. And she's like, nope, we can just use it as is.
They just part. You have tendrils going either direction, but it's in the perfect area so that when you pull back, those tendrils stay in place. And when you put it back, if you just lay a few over each other, it looks like it was never touched.
Yeah, totally. And so I'm sure Kate kind of fills Tetra in on what she's doing, like looking for a place to bunker down.
Yeah, she's trying to hide. Like, if we're going to have a whole bunch of Transformers show up here, we gotta find somewhere where we can hide their presence so that it's not unusual, because we don't want the town noticing, and especially since we saw military tracks down that road, we don't want them noticing if they come back into town.
Makes sense.
She just wants to have a bunker, basically.
I am going to go to Christian now. So Ash, you have been tasked with finding, you had been tasked and then blew out of there, right? And as they turned on you, what is Christian mentally at right now? Like, you've just fled KSI, you have Marissa, you don't remember much, but you know that you used to work with Autobots, and then you had been assigned to Decepticons to hunt down other Transformers and remove them from Earth, which seems very sketchy. And you know that Sunstreaker is out there and Sideswipe has contacted him. You heard that. But you were just tasked to bring them in. Despite what's happening with the Decepticons back at KSI.
Yeah, Ash is still a little confused on why we're going after Autobots, but it's good. He's confused. He's trying to remember what happened, how he got put down, other than from what Marissa told him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also concerned for her because, well, actually he wants to check on her, but then I realized I forgot to take the healing skill. So, so he's wondering what's gonna happen next. He's excited that Sunstreaker is still alive, which is a good thing for Sideswipe. And he wants to know who this group is that we're being sent after and why we're being sent after them.
So go to roll your spirit for me. As you're all of these thoughts, I assume that that Ash has pulled over somewhere and is kind of taking a moment, maybe in hiding.
Yeah, he
can check on Marissa and all of that.
Yeah, so he can check Marissa. Which, can I do an unskilled check to see if she's...
Yeah, for sure.
Just roll unskilled, right?
Mm-hmm. You can't tell. She's breathing. You can see that. She is unconscious. Her hair has been matted down with some blood. But you, as you're kind of peeling through all of these thoughts, you're aware of another presence in your brain the way that you had been while you were in the tube, and obviously it's Sideswipe. And you sense rage coming from him, and a desire to go after his brother, but it's conflicted. And so you're hearing and getting all of this turmoil feedback off of him. And he is sitting, like he's transformed and is sitting by the river with his head in his hands, just this massive form. Like, get out of my head. Get out of my head.
And I'm hearing that in my head, or Besides, hey, Big Red, you okay?
He's like, I don't know.
Look, it's just you and me out here with Marissa. I think we're good for right now. Do you have any idea what is going on?
Tampered.
Why are we?
They tampered with my mind.
How? I mean, well, I don't know if that's probably a stupid question, but I mean, I'm feeling rage off you, man.
I want to kill Sunstreaker.
Is this making me want to kill Sunstreaker too, or?
You succeeded at your spirit check, so no. But
keep succeeding at those.
But so maybe it's because you're feeling your own inner turmoil. And
right,
when he looks at you, when he says this, his eyes are red.
All right, so I look at him and I'm all Sideswipe. We can't do Sunstreaker's one of us, man. He was part of our unit. You gotta clear your head, man. It's your brother.
He like turns his head back around and is just like shaking his head back and forth, trying to force whatever it is going on. You hear Marissa stir behind you, though. She coughs, and then you hear her kind of vomit. And,
concussion.
Yeah, and she's like, ugh, what happened?
I turn around, I turn and look, and I walk over to her and kneel down next to her. And I hand her some water so she can take a couple sips.
She takes a couple of sips, so she takes a glass with like trembling hands. She's got her hand like rubbing the spot in her hair that's caked with blood. She's like, I remember our bots.
Yeah, Mohawk turned on you. He backhanded you, and you went flying. And then the rest turned on us. I'm not sure what happened exactly. There was an explosion, and then next thing I know it, they're all going crazy. Luckily, big guy here was able to get us out of there.
She's like, is he gonna attack us too?
Nah, I think we're safe at the moment.
And just as she says that, Sideswipe spins around and his eyes are red and he's like, I just might, you know? And he's just raging out. And she screams and goes to, like, draw her gun. Like, she screams and jumps and draws her gun and points it at him. And here's something that you would know, or would have known about being with Cemetery Wind, is you're kitted with some unique gunware designed specifically for taking
out Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
I step between the two of them like, whoa! Whoa! Guys! I'm supposed to be the dark and crazy one?
And so, why don't you give me a persuasion?
It's so bad.
Hey, no, you did it.
5. That's pretty good.
It takes them some time as you hear, like, Marissa's gun, like, click, click, and then it starts to, like, charge up. Ooh, and the end starts glowing kind of blue. And then Sideswipe draws his swords, and he's like, I'll cut you down, human. And you're still there in the middle of them, and it takes a few moments, but eventually you settle them down. And he actually, though, with all of this now, his eyes go back to blue, and he's like, I'm sorry, like I said, they're in my head. It's better when I'm in this form. And he switches back to car mode. He's like, we need to go. I need a medic.
Can I, because I have electronics and repair, can I try and see if I can find anything in him that might be causing this cross wiring between, I'll say, Decepticon Sideswipe and Autobot Sideswipe?
Yeah. So, are you gonna do it here? Just pulled off on the side of the road? Because he's going to have, for you to get into his head plate, he's going to have to be transformed back into a robot.
Can we, like, run off into some woods somewhere?
Yeah, so why don't you give me a stealth to try to hide you guys? Wow.
Wow, that was an explosion.
Yeah, it was. So you managed to cover your tracks really, really well. And you have found an old abandoned barn. And there's apparently, you can see the farmhouse in the distance. It must have burned down. The barn is old, falling apart. It's not great. It probably wouldn't even shield you from the rain 100%, but it's something.
Alright, Marissa, Sideswipe, this way!
Marissa is shaky on the legs and actually has to...
I'll
put
help
your
her.
arm around her waist, and she drapes her arm around your shoulder.
Actually, I'll just carry her. I mean, how far away is it?
Give me a roll of strength, and it's not that far.
Explode! Explode! Darn you!
If you want to bury it, you can.
Sure, why not?
Otherwise, she's just going to be draped over your shoulder and you'll be helping her.
Right.
How do I spend a Benny?
Just drag it to the window. To the chat thing.
It will not let me drop it on the window.
Here, I can do it.
Oh, I wasn't dropping it on the chat. That was my problem. Okay, I was dropping it on the actual background. My bad.
Oh, no, you're good.
Alright, so let's try this again. I'm gonna be really embarrassed if I can't pick up my, My God.
Yeah, that is.
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Hold my tongue.
Right. So you have some difficulty. And maybe you're just exhausted. You were in a tube. Your body has been through a lot, and maybe you haven't quite figured out how to use it. Yeah, instead of being able to lift her, whether maybe it's exhaustion and the adrenaline wearing off, but your limbs feel as heavy as lead. And as you make it to the barn, you collapse to the ground with Marissa, and you both end up falling asleep. Sideswipe kind of rolls in behind you. The doors don't really close. They kind of swing sort of shut behind you, but the world and the world goes black as the ground rushes up to meet your face. And then we will go back to the others.
Love the taste of dirt.
Right? And so, going back to the others now, Kate, you found something. Gail was wandering around the town looking in stores. As you're wandering around the town looking in stores, Gail, you hear a throaty like clearing of,
Like someone clearing their throat.
yes.
Like
Why did I say it like that? So weird.
a throaty clearing. Like a field full of esophagus.
Yeah.
Esophagi.
And so it is.
Better for it to be multiple esophagi than to one giant.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to look at it. And so it's like new round here.
So I'm going to try. Can I do like a persuasion to just convince him of, which I think because I am an android, I think that I get a -2 to that, but it should already be included in that roll, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to play friendly with him, and since we noticed the military tracks, I'm gonna kind of ask him, you know, what it looked like how many vehicles it was, like potentially, like what are we up against potentially?
Okay, and so when you turn around, it is a sheriff.
Oh, crap.
And he's got the big old style wide brim hat and his arms crossed over his chest. He's a round man with an upturned nose and puffy red cheeks. And
Roll for initiative.
he says, so do you... Well, give me your persuasion. So, you are... He looks suspicious of you. And...
Why am I not surprised?
He ponders for a minute and he was like...
And I'm like, new? Yeah, I'm new. Really new? Like, just got here a few minutes ago and was kind of looking for somewhere to eat. And I like point at the street and I'm like, y'all had some sort of big trucks come through here, right?
He says, yeah, it was just one. Not like any military vehicle I've ever seen before. They Goddamn thing had 6 wheels.
Huh. Did it say anything on it? Like, was it like FBI or CIA or something?
No, it did have some U.S. military markings, but still something was no numbers, nothing that indicated where it was from or what it was doing here. We didn't even get down at the station. We didn't even get a report about them coming. Disappeared into the swamp that way. A few nights ago, some of the townspeople said they heard an explosion out that way.
Out which way?
Towards where the tracks disappear out of town, where Ewan has gone. There's a dock at the end of the road where Ewan is. So Ewan, actually, what is he doing? He's been, you've stood at this dock. You've seen the boats there.
I would actually, really fast, can I just say I would like say goodbye to the sheriff and start to head that direction?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I'm sorry, go ahead, Ewan.
The tracks led to the docks. Were there any buildings here, or is it just the docks and the boats?
The docks and the boats. Give me another notice roll.
I can do that. I like that roll.
So, being at the end of the dock now, gazing out into the swamp, the water's kind of shallow right here. You can see that it's recently been upturned with mud. Some of the branches of the cypress trees are broken. Some of the bark is chipped off, as if something large moved through here.
Okay. And looking up and down, but looking out, can I see anywhere on another bank that it's also like that, where it might have left, or does it just look normal?
It just, the left and the right look pretty normal. Now you do, when you look to the right, see a massive alligator trail leading into the water.
I take a few steps back from that. Yeah, I don't want to get bitten.
Pretty standard for a swamp.
Yeah. I think I've gotten everything I'm getting from here for now, so I'll head back towards the group.
Okay. Now, Lyrica and Flip, yes. Tetra and Kate have pushed open this gate and are walking down what appears to be an old private drive that goes far into the swamp. There are a couple of places where the bayou waters have completely reclaimed the road, though it's shallow, as if a small stream is running across it and meeting with the other side. As you make your way further down this road, you see the peaks of a white-sided wood house looking out above the trees. The roof is sagging. Shingles are missing.
But it's far enough out here that, like, there's enough space we should be able to salvage, even if the house itself isn't usable really. I should be able to salvage some of the stuff on, in there, on there, whatever. Make maybe lean-to shelters or smaller shelters for people, while still having plenty of space for the Transformers to hide within the compound, correct?
So you're not close enough to see the house itself yet. But as it comes into view, it is an old, white, classic farmhouse style house. Now, there is a tree that's fallen and landed and is still resting on the house. It seems to have taken out one of the upstairs rooms, as well as kind of like the crow's nest at the top of the house. And the windows are all boarded up and everything, but the house is surprisingly intact. Now, some of the nature has definitely started reclaiming it, with Spanish moss and vines crawling up it and into the entrance that the down tree has made. It is fairly obviously the vegetation had been cleared back when people lived here, giving them a yard, so there are places for the vehicles to pull in and park.
Okay. I think Kate's probably going to set Shortwave down because she's been carrying him, and she's going to have him transform so that he can not necessarily help, but she's going to try and get him to get in contact with Cup and I keep forgetting her name.
Verity?
No, well, Cup and Verity, but Red Alert, the ambulance.
Okay.
Because I don't know about anybody else, but I think it would be very odd to see an ambulance here in this small rinky-dink town. They probably don't have a hospital. It's probably farther away, and their ambulance probably consists of maybe like a homestay doctor at most, kind of thing. So she wants to get them out of sight as quickly as possible, so she's going to get Shortwave to try and get in contact with them and tell them to come this direction so that they can get behind cover, so that we can figure out who's in the area, who we need to get here, and, you know, having everybody out of the way so they're not any more suspicious than they need to be.
So he's basically, yeah, alright, so you're getting him to send out a basic transmission to the nearby. So roll your... A bug just landed on my face. I almost cleaned out on camera. So why don't you give me your mechanics?
Electronics or
Electronics,
repair?
sorry, excuse me.
Okay. Five, I think?
Yep. Okay. So it works. Now, when he sends out this ping, he contacts the others, and they are like, they begin to head towards you, you know? And that's not the only thing, though. He gets a weak energy ping from somewhere in the swamp. And he said, that's Bulkhead signal, but it's faint.
Faint as in, so it's not faint as in far away, faint as in not fully functional?
Not fully functional. I think he's been damaged.
Alright, as soon as we get people together, we'll go out and check. Maybe just me and Shortwave. Don't want to draw too much attention.
Andy, while all that is going on,
Scooter.
Yep.
I'm going to be checking the integrity of the house, seeing if it's actually something we can use or if it's totally fucked.
Perfect. Alright, so why don't you give me your academics, I feel like. Yeah. Okay, so there are definitely usable parts of this house. The main common room is pretty survivable. Even the kitchen, although there's no electricity, is usable. There is quite a bit of water damage and some wildlife, like rats and other such things, bugs, spiders that have taken up the house as their own. When you move around, you actually see birds flutter up out of the foyer and through the hole in the roof that the tree is made. Now, there is actually the main floor in the foyer has been damaged too, for maybe from a branch of the tree falling off, knocking out the floor as it fell. But growing up in the light that shines down from the hole in the ceiling is a tree. And so
in my house.
yeah, you've got this tree that's growing up in the middle of this abandoned, destroyed house, as if it is. One picture could say that nature was reclaiming this place, you know.
Okay. I guess I'll start just kind of digging around, seeing if there's anything useful here.
Okay, so, you give me your science. I'm gonna say science.
Science?
Yeah.
To look around, that's not good. I got a 5, but what?
So actually, because you're a total...
That doesn't seem right.
You're a total brain, and so you start thinking of things that... This house has probably been abandoned for 20 years. What is going to even be classified as useful without the wear and tear and breakdown of the elements, you know? And so
I feel better about that.
You immediately head towards what would have been the cupboard and start looking for any canned goods for starters. And there's quite a bit. And actually, the way Southerners do, there is a whole line of preserves.
Nice.
So you immediately grab those, knowing that those are probably safe to eat, and then you realize that you're also going to need water. Now, you turn on the pipes.
I check the pipes first. What are the pipes made out of?
The pipes are old copper pipes.
Okay, they're safe. Cool.
And when you turn on the faucet, it rattles loudly throughout the whole house, causing you can hear more
turn off the
birds
pipes.
to take flight, and a few trickles.
As soon as it rattles, I turn it off and then kind of slowly do it.
Okay, and so
Pipes bursting today.
it just dribbles a few like brown sludgy looking. There's not going to be any water here.
Great. Well, we got some cool preserves. I guess I'll, pack those up and bring them out.
Okay.
Share, my jelly delicious finds with everybody.
So Tetra has gone about like gathering supplies, and where are you putting them? Like in the common room that's livable?
Yeah, just kind of taking anything I find and putting it all together. I guess this is my home now. I used to have this nice apartment, but now I have a tree as a roommate. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, right. So the furniture in the living room is old and dusty and mildewy, and it is old and more than just the fact that it hasn't been cared for old. Its style is very antique. Overstuffed armchairs, like obviously like been passed through the family for a while, probably reupholstered by neighbors, and probably harkens back to the glory days of the house itself. There is a small barrel that was used for maybe pickling fish or something like that. Sat in the center of the room that was discarded when whoever moved out. It is pretty large, kind of like half of a garbage tin that you see in movies. And like in height. And so it's empty. There's an armchair there as well. A nice little coffee table. Everything is just dusty and decrepit though. So you put the food out on that. But again, this is something that might be livable. Upstairs there are a couple of rooms that are still intact.
I'm gonna look for secret passages.
Okay. Now we're gonna go back to Christian. Now, oh wait, actually I didn't touch on you and, oh, yeah I did, didn't I?
You did.
Yep, okay, so Ash, you have found this barn, you passed out. Your dreams are really weird.
Okay.
Now, give me a smarts to see if you can remember them.
Smarts. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, you do. They're splotchy and chaotic, but you saw something in them that isn't one of your memories. Perhaps one of Sideswipe's. It shows
Okay.
a terrible entity that looks like a severed head with many tendrils floating around beneath it, snaking and turning over each other. The face before you is clearly feminine but metallic, and it speaks with a feminine voice. It's talking to someone, but you're not sure who. You don't hear a response, but it says, the transformers are proving difficult and they're destroying my beautiful creation. It is time that we played our hand. And then it spins around and there's another head there that seems to respond to it all of a sudden before you, and it's like, yes, we will show them who their creators are and what it means to destroy our gifts. And then it spins around again and there's another face. Each one is terrifying as the last, and it says it cackles loudly. I mean, that's all that happens. You see then you're somewhere else. Explosions, dark streets, and a towering city.
Interesting.
It's a city like nothing you've seen before. Glistening metals and hues of orange.
Ooh. I think I know where it is out of character, but
Yeah, and strange lights pulsing through the walls. You can hear the sounds of shifting metal everywhere. The way that you can hear traffic in a city.
Okay. Am I able to look around his memory? Take
You
different-
just wake up kind of startled now, and you're laying in the hay straw that has been discarded here with Marissa, who is now up and about. She has decided to try to rig some blue tarp that that she found discarded in there to help repair the roof to give you some sort of workspace, knowing that you're planning on trying to work with him. She seems to be feeling a bit better. When you look outside, you realize now it's going into late afternoon. You had escaped at night from KSI, and so you've been asleep for probably close to 12 hours. And the sun is beginning to wane. There's a loud pop, and Marissa does pulls on something, and the lights above flicker on. She's like, well, I think I got us just a little bit of power.
Sit up. Good work, Marissa. Did you know Transformers dream?
She's like, it doesn't surprise me. That spark that they talk about, I think it's a lot like our soul.
Yeah, I can see that. There's still some weird things. I sit up and I look in the direction of where I remember Sideswipe being before I passed out.
Okay. He's still in car mode. But when you think about him, he shifts up and he's like, are you feeling well enough to see what they've done to my brain?
Yeah, I think I got it. Well, I can't guarantee I got it, but I'm good.
Okay. And so, give me your... You can do science, you can do electronics, you can do repair.
I have electronics and repair. Let's do electronics first, hopefully. Wow.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So as you move up to Sideswipe, something happens. And you know, you're going to reach for him, and your arm collapses back on itself and folds in, and then shifts in and tucks into your body. And you go to take another step, and the leg that you go to step on does the same thing and shifts up into your body, and you fall to the ground. It's kind of excruciating. And then your other leg does the same thing, and it's like those terrible swimmer's cramps that you get. Then your other arm, until you're nothing but a torso and a head laying on the ground. Sideswipe is screaming and like grabbing his head as he falls on the ground next to you, and you have a space lasso that unfurls from your neck and rolls across the ground, sliding into a port that is on Sideswipe. And then the pain stops, and there's clarity as Sideswipe rises and his own head sinks in, and he picks you up and sticks you into the spot where his head is, as metal shielding wraps around your face, and you are now his head, so to speak. Your brains are connected. You feel his limbs as if they're an extension of your own.
Okay.
Oof.
Wasn't expecting that. Ash is mad.
Okay.
He thought he was still human.
So give me a spirit.
Okay.
I know that feeling well.
Oof. So yeah, you're mad, and you've now got this new ton body that weighs a metric ton, you know, and you're like, what? And throw your arms out, and you actually knock one of the supports out of the out of the barn, and the barn's roof begins to topple. Now give me an athletics.
Oh my god, what is with my rolls?
You go to move out of the way as the roof begins to fall on you, and your joints seize up. You haven't quite figured out how to use this body to its full extent, and you go to step, and it's just like, boom, like just rattles the ground, causing the whole ceiling to come down on top of you. Now
This poor boy.
take 1 harm.
I am not liking this. What am I taking?
1 harm.
Where is that on this character sheet?
Wounds. Sorry.
This poor boy.
Just click wounds. Yeah, I know, right? He's just
Oh,
going
there we
through it.
go. Shaken or wound?
Take a shaken.
Okay.
And so the world is black around you now, and you still feel this anger within you. You can hear Marissa calling to you, Ash! Ash, what's going on? Are you okay? What's happening? Like, she's panicked. Totally.
It's like, what did they do to me?
Give me a strength now. Or actually, give me another athletics. Okay, so it takes you a little bit, even with the rage, to kind of push yourself up as bits of ceiling and roof slide off of you, the sounds of scraping metal and everything. And yeah, Marissa's standing there looking up at you now. And you don't look like you, face-wise. Your face is hidden by a faceplate, like any Transformers would be. Just red glowing eyes peering down at her. You can feel the rage to hunt down Sunstreaker in you now.
Okay. I'm going to try. Can I try and fight this urge?
Yeah, give
Again?
me another spirit.
First off, can I try to unshake? And if I can, how do I unshake myself
You can
on
spend a
in this
penny
one?
to unshake. Or you can roll a bigger.
Roll a
we
vigor?
have some table bennies
We
too.
do
I
have
think.
some table bennies. We have 2 table bennies so far.
Hey, Andy,
Yeah.
does the voice in Ash's head count as a wild card villain?
No.
All right, so use a Benny and then roll a vigor. You said,
You can
or just roll a vigor?
You can just use a Benny to remove shaken, or just roll a vigor to
I'll roll a
unshake.
vigor.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so you unshake. And now roll
did you
your
want me to roll?
spirit. Yeah.
Explosion!
Yes. So you do. You force this. You don't hear a voice for this. This is more like almost like a primary operation to you in this state. Like you override this imperative, and your eyes return
Meant to
blue.
do that.
And Marissa is staring at you in shock and disbelief, and she's kind of walking around you, and she's like, Ash, are you in there?
I'm in something.
Can you get back out?
I'll try. Evidently, I'm not human anymore.
She's like, that doesn't matter, how do we get you out of this?
Good question.
Now, give me another spirit. Perfect. Now, as you're thinking this, it takes you, if you're like going through your brain, like, how do I get out of this situation? You can hear Sideswipe in there with you, like, maybe if we just separate our minds, or I just try to pull you off and your hands go up and are like trying to dislodge you. And then eventually it's almost as if it's an automated process. His arms go back and lock into place and lift you up, lower you out. Your legs and arms unfold and you're standing on the ground. The faceplate disappears and rolls back into a strange seam at your neck that's only visible for a moment. All of this with the hallmark shifting sound as Sideswipe's head kind of flips back up into place. It's like, well, you didn't fix what was in my head.
Obviously! I certainly got into your head, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely got into his head.
So actually, we are at our 30-minute break mark. So before I go back to the others, or I mean our 30-minute break mark. Sorry, that sounded weird. We're at the point where we take our little break. We are going to do that, and then we are going to come back, and ideally we get this party together soon. So I will go ahead and switch us over. Thanks for joining us. If you guys have, definitely give us a follow or a subscribe if you're enjoying it. And again, just to throw it out there, to get involved, 500 bits gives everyone a Benny, including me, or it draws another adventure card for the table to use when they decide that they want to. There's also 100 bits gives any one player of your choice a Benny. So, yeah, we will be going on our break. We'll be back in like 10 minutes.
See you all
See you
soon.
guys in a few minutes.
See you.
back. Hello, everyone. We're back. Thank you. If you are
Hello
still
again.
here. We are. So we just finished a little scene with Ash, and we are going to head back to the group in Louisiana. Now, Tetra was investigating stability and finding food. I think I kind of want to... I found the rules for the interlude, and I kind of want to do an interlude session while people are getting the house prepared.
I am also looking for secret passages. This is an old house in the south.
Yes, you did say that. So we'll...
a secret room or two.
Yeah, so why don't you give me your notice?
Oh, good. I'm terrible at notice. Let's do this. There's my thingy.
And while Tetra was doing all of that, when Cup and Red Alert showed up, Kate would have been asking Cup specifically, because he was larger, or seems to be larger, since he was military grade Jeep, if he could take the tree off of the house so that they could salvage some of the pieces that were broken in from the roof and that room to possibly shore up stuff or make divisions in the lower house area, so that they could make a room for the tree where we had like another room that was not open to the elements kind of thing, and then possibly find a way to cut the fallen tree down to use for firewood, either in a pit or in a fireplace to cook with.
He's like, I'm not really outfitted with chains and things to help me get it down from there. That's what we would need bulkhead for. I mean, that's what a wrecker is good at.
Well, guess I better go find him.
He's like, what's your little friend got?
He got a ping back from him, but it was weak. It sounded like he was damaged or had fallen into trouble down, I think, where that mineral deposit is, and where all those military vehicles went to. So we may have to put something together.
What if it's not a mineral deposit? What if it's a transformer that they're calling a mineral deposit?
That's also a possibility, but
Technically,
terrifying.
that's minerals too.
Yeah. I mean, it is the metal. So you would know, Kate, that we'll say that the direction that the ping came from, Shortwave's able to help you, and he kind of waddles over to where there's a dock here as well, and the small boathouse. And there is a boat tied to the dock. And it seems it's a metal bottomed boat. It's got a small propeller on the back. It's a fishing boat. No, like, building structure on it at all. It's completely open. But, I mean, it's definitely water-worthy. It's still floating there. It has been for a while. It's rusty. Now it's just a matter of, does the propeller work?
Well, I can fix that.
Right?
That I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned with, but the boat, rather than going by the road, I guess she would probably try and triangulate with Shortwave to see if they could figure out where the ping was located from, and whether or not they could get to that area easier with the boat, or less likely to be noticed with the boat than they did than they could be like by a road.
So it's going to be a difficult path for the Transformers. On top of water, there's lots of mud, so heavier things are going to be bogged down by the process. It would probably be best for Cup and Red Alert to stay behind and the humans to go investigate on their own. It's just not a very hospitable environment for a Transformer that is designed to be on land. Now there are aquatic Transformers, but they're few and far between. And so, that being said, I mean, you would know these things. You're just Kate. That's how
You're
your
just
brain
Kate.
works. So, what do you guys want to do? Talk to each other.
I mean, I got a 5 for my notice on secret passages that was never resolved.
Yeah. Let's do that. Sorry about that, Flip. So
Also, would like to put the thought out there. Shortwave is just the Zimmy of Transformers.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. So, Flip, you do not find any secret passages. Honestly, in Louisiana, places don't often have basements even. So, underground things, it's already below sea level, are often just waterlogged and flooded.
Speakeasy room or
No, what?
speakeasy room, like a secret.
No, not really.
No,
Nothing-
no library revolving shelf. No.
Mm-mm.
Where's the Scooby Doo vibes at?
I know, I'm sorry. It's not that kind of house, just an old farmhouse.
Like the Clue house?
Right.
I'm gonna set the house on fire.
No! No, I mean, if you want to, go for it.
Burn the narrative to the ground.
If you want to, I am not going to stop you.
I'm not gonna.
But, so, that being said, what do you want to do now?
As soon as Tetra had finished her investigation of the house and got angry and started cursing at the house for not having a hidden passage, and Kate's like, it's just a house.
To be clear, both Flip and Tetra are disappointed in this scenario.
Kate explains that at least she, but there should probably be a contingency that goes out and looks for Bulkhead, as his signal was weak, and it may be that he can't get to them on his own. But only humans should go since they have a boat, and it's probably easier to infiltrate from the back rather than by the road.
Do we have weapons?
Well, the thing is that she would not
We don't
suggest
have
going
weapons.
now. She was going to wait until the boys got back. Because I don't know about Tetra, but Kate's like, yeah, okay, I'm a survivor and I'm a scrapper, but I'm not here to get in a fight.
So,
And I'm not good for that. So I need backup.
So, do you think Tetra would go with Kate?
Tetra will go with Kate, but she'll agree that, neither of us are probably super equipped for fighting.
Right.
We can blow stuff up, but we do need some kind of meat
Backup.
to put the bomb in place. Somebody disposable. Where's Gale?
Where's Gale?
That's horrible.
So, Gale and Ewan were standing at the end of the docks. You and Andrew took a couple of steps back.
To be clear, Tetra does not call them disposable. That's a Flip thing.
Yeah, right. So...
Oh, and when Shortwave sent out that information, got that ping back, she would have also sent it to Sunstreaker, so that he knew where they were located, so when they got done with whatever they were doing, he could
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
them again.
Right. And so Sunstreaker follows behind. Well, no, stays parked because they're in a town. Never mind. Gale, you walk over. You had just got done with your interaction with the officer, and so you were walking up to Andrew.
Andrew, I just talked to a guy in town, and he pointed me this direction. Did you see anything that looked like an explosion?
No, but I do see tracks going down into the water.
I have a feeling what we're looking for might have gone that way. I don't suppose you know what Bulkhead looks like, do you?
Nope. But if we're going to be going out of the water, can you swim?
You're going out in the water. I'm staying right here on this dry ground. Do you know how to operate a boat?
Kind of. I can get it working.
I'll brave trying a boat if we can make one work.
Okay.
Do the-
And just
Do the tracks go into the water, or do the tracks go by the water?
into the water.
Oh.
And so, at that same time, Sunstreaker would say in Gale's head, your friends have found something, a location to hunker down, and maybe something with Bulkhead. It might be best
I would like,
that we
you know,
return.
I would grab my head and be like, okay, so we need to meet up with the rest of the party. They apparently found a place for us to hide away while we figure this out, and maybe they found a clue to Bulkhead, but I think that we shouldn't rule this out as a place to look.
Yeah. Just before we do anything else, stay still a sec. And I'm going to try and lift him up to get an idea. Does he weigh like a human does or like a robot does?
He weighs. Give me a strength.
I'm not even gonna budge.
As in, will he float or will he sink like a rock?
He's heavier than a human, but he will float. I mean, maybe him and a few other people in a decent sized boat with no luggage or gear, really.
Yeah. It was more a worry of if he goes overboard.
He'll sink like a rock.
Yeah, according to my character, I will sink like a rock.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Can't swim, it's a hindrance.
It's okay, you
Yep.
can just walk along the bottom.
So,
To be fair, there is absolutely no evidence that suggests Gale actually needs air to survive.
Can we not test that theory also?
I'll try to avoid it, but
There's no evidence suggesting that you need to eat or breathe.
there's also little evidence saying he doesn't.
But how easily we can acquire that evidence.
Gale, give me a spirit. Nice. So, it doesn't overwhelm you, but both you and Sunstreaker become aware of that feeling of a family presence, and it must be Sideswipe. But a cool, cold, and calculating voice is heard in both of your heads that says, "I'm coming for you, brother."
That didn't give me the warm fuzzies. Why do I feel like maybe we don't want to see Sideswipe so soon? Let's hold off on any family reunions until we can figure out what's going on.
Sunstreaker seems upset, angry. He actually... You have to convince him not to transform in the street and just, like, blow something up, really. He is that
Wait,
kind
big
of
guy.
hot-headed.
Wait, calm down. If anyone can fix it, Tetra or Kate can fix what's going wrong with him, but we got to get them back there
And Red
safely.
Alert, you have a medic.
And so, you guys go to this farmhouse that they've found, and I'm going to let you guys talk now that you're together, but first I want to touch on Ash. And so, Ash, you have witnessed all of this with Sideswipe, and then you are now aware of whatever this Headmaster project has done to you. And now you know you have to find the others, or at least Sunstreaker. He would transform into car mode and be like, we should go. Especially since you've just knocked down the ceiling of the barn. Marissa would... Marissa would climb into the car as it changes, you know? And knowing that you're in all of this turmoil, she would likely just kind of reach over and put her hand on your leg.
I look at her. Sorry, I clearing my throat. I look at her and I'm like, I didn't sign on for this.
She's like, none of us did.
Wait, do you become a head of a robot too?
And she's like, no. But you're still you. You feel like you.
But am I really me? I mean, am I all joints and wires now instead of blood and flesh?
Sideswipe is just driving now on his own, making his way to Louisiana where he knows they are. And she's like, you remember us, right?
It's coming back to me, yeah.
She's like, then you and I both know. What makes them any different than us? The composition of their bodies. They think and they feel. And you do too.
But is it really feelings, or is it just wires and programming telling me I have pain and feelings and emotions?
Are they just water? Or are they just wires and programming? Honestly.
I mean, me and Sideswipe have been together for a while now, so I mean, he's like a brother to me, I guess you could say. Kind of like, you know, two guys from high school that have known each other since they were kids type brother feeling.
It's
confusing.
They wanted you to be a weapon. But maybe you can stop that. Maybe you can be a weapon. You can be a human. And you can be a headmaster. And you can be all of those things. And stop this from happening to anyone else. And I'm with you. I've got your back.
Yeah, but I don't want to endanger you.
She's like, endanger me? That's all we do. Endangerment is us. Have our lives ever been easy? You died in an explosion.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
She's like, I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
you know what I mean.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I still obviously have feelings for you. I hope it's actual feelings and not programming. It's like, oh yeah, you were with this person.
No, they can scramble what you remember, but I don't think they can ever take it away.
I hope not, because that would really suck. But someone's gonna die.
Sunstreaker would chime in at that and be like, I agree. And,
What was that, evil sideswipe or good sideswipe?
hard to say.
I know, I'm concerned who's gonna die.
Hard to say. But the scenery outside the vehicle is beginning to change. You would notice that you've been driving for a couple of hours now, and it's beginning to take on less of that deserty, dry brush, kind of thin-leaved brush of the Texas landscape to more green, almost tropical plant life as the branches start becoming heavy with Spanish moss and the air gets a definitive moistness to it. The windows are down. Marissa's fallen asleep. You guys are filthy. You haven't really had time to stop or shower or do anything like that. Sideswipe does pull over as you cross officially over into Louisiana. And he's like, pulls into like this cheap hotel and is like, you should get some rest.
Yeah, you should too. How much further away? Oh, how much further away are we from your brother? You have any idea?
3 hours?
All right. He's like, I look at Marissa and I kind of give her a little loving shake to wake her up.
She stirs and she does look tired. She's still got blood caked in her hair. Her clothes are filthy from the battle and then the barn. And she's like, okay, she's like, where are we? Are we there?
No, Sideswipe stopped at a hotel so we could get some rest and get cleaned up.
She's like, I could hug him for that.
Crap, how are we gonna get a room?
She's like, well, I haven't been in a tube for the last 6 months, and she pulls out like her purse, you know, and or well, like kind of like a wallet thing, and it has all of her cards and her cell phone, and she's like, here.
Does she have cash?
No.
Oh. This could be... Alright.
Look, it's kind of worth the risk, right?
Yeah.
Just like I can't very well walk around looking like this. People will get suspicious.
True. I'll go get her room.
Okay. And you, Christian, are still wearing, like... Well, no, you're military clothes, too. So, you guys look very...
Men in Black.
Men in Black, yes.
Without the suits.
Without the suits, yeah, exactly. I'm like, how do you describe that? CIA agents. I don't know. That's suit-ish, you know, like
combat ready
task
CIA.
force, yeah, something like that. So yeah, you look very Black Task Forcey, and so you go. She gives you the card to pay, so she doesn't walk in looking all bloodied and weird.
Do I have sunglasses?
Yeah, we could say yeah, you do.
I'm gonna put the sunglasses.
Okay, awesome. So, give me a stealth first.
All right. I accept. Better roll than what's 5. It's better than what I've been getting lately.
Perfect. So, this is a problem. So you don't draw immediate attention, really. I mean, they definitely think you're military. You probably have dog tags, so they kind of actually nod their head to you in respect when you come in. And it is an elderly couple, and they're both sitting behind the counter, and they're like, well, what can we do you for?
Room for 2.
He's like, well, we've only got singles available right now. One bed, okay?
That's fine.
And he's like, okay, and takes the card from you if you offer it. He
Yep.
runs in, he's like, you here visiting the base?
Yes.
It's like, well, I thank you for your duty, keeping America safe.
Thank you for your support.
I tell you what, I bet that you would give one of those Transformers a hurtin'.
If needed be, yes.
You know, I lost a daughter in Chicago.
Sorry to hear that. My condolences.
He's like, well, you're doing the Lord's work, son. And, like, pats your shoulder and, like, gives you a key to the room. And he's like, it'll be upstairs overlooking the pool.
Thanks. Is there, like, diner or vending machines?
There are vending machines. There isn't a diner here, but just a little ways down on the right, there's a diner, and they do deliver.
Cool. And what's the name of that diner?
Moz.
Alright, thank you.
And he's like, yeah, thank you. Have a restful night. Let us know if you need anything. And the wife chimes in and she's like, yo, we're up all the time.
Good to know. I'll see how everything's going with my partner and see if she needs anything. I'll call you guys on the phone.
The lady is like, oh, a lady friend? Well, I think I have just the perfect... Hold on one second. And she, like, turns around and brings you, like, a special, like, you know, the shampoo and conditioner bottles for hotel rooms. That, like, it has, like, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, a razor, you know. She's like, I have a special female kit and some, you know, like, feminine products. She's like, here, take this.
Oh, thank you. She'll appreciate it.
And alright, there you go. do you need anything else? Should I come and check on you later? And then he's like, no, Betty, no. Just let him get some rest.
We'll call you guys from the room phone if we need anything.
Absolutely. You kids get some rest.
Thank you. You two youngins have a good night.
Yeah. She's like, we're watching Spartacus.
Good show. Good show.
She's like, there's so many naked men on this show. And he's like, now Betty! I'm sorry about her. We don't get a lot of guests, so if you'll excuse us. And he's like, would you come help me get the laundry going?
You two have a nice night.
And they dawdle off behind the counter.
I just walk out laughing.
Old people are
Couples.
so charming.
Gotta love mom and pop places.
And so
I know, Spartacus. Dang, she needs to get Netflix or something.
Maybe they are watching Netflix.
so they...
Testing? Okay, there we go.
Yep, flip. So we'll go back to the others. So everyone arrives now to the farmhouse.
I was trying to point out earlier, but my mic wasn't working. You're messing up a great opportunity with a swinger couple. I'm just saying.
No!
They are 100% down to swing.
So I can't think of
Oh, geez.
grandparents being swinger couples.
Oh my
I
God.
don't care. but
Grandparents are so often swinger couples.
I
Do it for
Yeah,
the
let's
viewers.
just not though.
Do it
Let's
for the
just
viewers.
not go there.
The viewers. I don't know.
For the viewers.
want
Fan
that
service.
either.
Fan service.
No.
So, okay, you guys are all together. I'm gonna let you converse amongst yourselves now in character and decide what you're doing.
Well, I'm gonna make sure she gets into the room and give her the special ladies package.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll say in the time that we're away that she's like showering and cleaning herself up.
Works for me. I'll do the same.
I would walk in and say, well, I thought Airbnb said this place had a pool, but I don't see nothing.
100 meters that way. We just came from it.
This is the 5-star? Kate's not allowed to pick the room anymore.
Yes, it was Kate who did it for sure.
Hey, at least
Right,
I
so-
found something.
I do have an update.
Yep.
The good news is some of the house we can definitely like live in and be safe from the elements more or less. The bad news is the house does not have any secret passages. I found that very disappointing.
And no cable, I take it.
I mean, we could probably get a antenna set up for radio.
Probably
wouldn't
not
be too
any
hard with
working
these trees.
electricity either.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can we just hook up one of our transformers to the outlet? Can we?
I
Well, I'm
mean,
sure we can fix it. We just gotta get some time to do it. That's the only problem.
Well, first we have to rescue Bulkhead.
Yeah, I think that's our first. I mean, that's the first thing that was on my list. Has anybody gotten updates on anyone else? Have we heard anything from Sideswipe?
Well, funny you mentioned that.
Here we go.
I'm a little worried about Sideswipe right now. I'm afraid that his idea of a family reunion involves less cornhole in the backyard and more gunfire and grenades, if you catch my drift.
So you're thinking
Right.
he was tampered with, maybe like you guys were?
I
Like
think
tracking, or
maybe worse than tracking. It sounds like he wants to kill us, maybe?
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
Actually, it should be
that's-
pretty easy to deal with. Let's we have all of the equipment here to undo whatever's harming him. Let's set a trap. If he's coming for
Yeah.
us,
Well, he's coming for one of us.
If it's just Sunstreaker he's targeting, then
well,
the
listen,
rest of us meeting him first
if
could
he's
try and sort
coming
it out.
for Gale and Sunstreaker,
Hey.
I have a problem with that.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Listen, you are a fascinating piece of science, and I won't let anything hurt you until I have studied you fully, and even then, I will protect you because I want to study you. So,
You are my subject.
I feel so
listen,
much better
I wasn't
now.
gonna say
Thank
it,
you.
but the point is, we have a responsibility to protect Gale and Sunstreaker, and we could really easily set a trap for a berserk robot that probably thinks he's just going to come in and blow stuff up.
Well, before we go all the Goonies on this guy, we need to maybe... I saw some tracks going down into the water with Andrew, and I think I talked to the sheriff in town, and he said a big black military-type vehicle with 6 wheels.
Not black.
Oh, not
Green.
black. I lied. It wasn't black.
It's
a
green.
big military
Green.
type vehicle.
A big military...
Wheels?
6 wheels. Does anyone know what Bulkhead looks like? Because we saw the tracks go down into the water at the docks, and then he told me that there was a big explosion the other day from that same direction.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, I'm sure Cup knows what Bulkhead looks like.
We are
And I
getting a
guess-
visual of it.
And he just kind of has one of the toys. Is that what Bulkhead looks like?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Well, we have Bulkhead's signal. We can, just trace the signal and find Bulkhead. We have a proximity signal.
This is going to be fun. They're not made to be underwater.
Well,
And how are we supposed to get him out if he doesn't have much of a signal?
Well, hopefully he's back up on land.
yeah, we don't know that he's
Hey, I
underwater.
got a question. And she turns and looks at Cup, and she says you weren't fitted out with chains to drag the tree off of there. Does that mean Bulkhead is fitted out with chains?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to go underwater, grab one of those, and have you drag him out if you were on the shore?
Absolutely.
Then we may have to go out on a boat and find him and get that contact so you can get him out of here so we can get him fixed up.
Oh, I know a thing or
Probably
two about
wait
boats.
We should probably wait until night. As much as I hate to make him wait anymore, I don't want to do this in broad daylight in front of all those people.
Well, how far out is the signal?
We can at least scout it out.
Well, I mean, I won't know that until I get over there and Shortwave and I can triangulate it. We could go over and do that and do reconnaissance.
Yeah,
right
we
now, but
should
I
at
don't
least
think
do
we should-
reconnaissance right now and
Yeah.
make sure that, he's not going to die in the next 8 hours.
Yeah. Because I don't know. If we need to do it now, we need to do it now. But if we don't, I really would prefer some cover.
Let's go recon and
See how he's
we'll
doing.
assess the situation.
And
'Cause
see
we
how far
might-
out he is.
We might want his help before the rest of the welcoming committee gets here. If
It
you know what I
also
mean.
would be a good idea if we're going to bring a transformer into that swamp to figure out exactly how we're going to do that when it's still light out.
That is also true.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
Um,
find stable ground.
So you guys are gonna head out on a boat.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm-
Yippee,
as-
water. My
As much as
favorite.
it's kind of frightening to think of if something goes wrong, I am taking Shortwave because he's my basic sonar.
Do we have any life jackets or anything? Boating safety.
No, actually, you don't see any.
Well, we're screwed.
How many of us can swim?
all of you should have swim as just a basic athletics check.
Yeah.
So the only problem is, you know,
Except
maybe-
for Gale, he can't swim.
so
Yeah.
Gale.
I get a
Instead of-
-2 on it. And
So
then
let's
I
just-
lose like half my speed.
Let's just tie a rope around Gale. And then if anything happens, we can pull Gale out of the water.
Well, I mean, we also do have to scope out a sure footing on land where Cup could stand to pull him out of the water depending on the direction. So maybe
Right.
Gale should do that rather than going on the water with us.
I love
Oh.
that plan.
And we still have to get there. And we don't know
Well,
if it's
I mean,
been
like-
affected by water.
We can take. We know where the tracks went in. If he can go into town, back towards the docks that you were talking about, then he should be able to scope out a way to get there. Maybe that's not directly through town. Something that would be
But we don't
stable
know.
enough.
We don't know where it is. So if we just send Gale, can you sense the signal?
I don't
Never
know.
tried. So,
Well, I mean, we also have Gale can hear Sunstreaker, and I am taking shortwave with me, which means I can send a signal to shortwave on general position so that he can figure out on land
Mhm.
True.
where he needs to be. So we can triangulate that way. It's just one step process.
mhm.
But I think that's our best bet rather than having an actual Autobot out there on the shore.
Do you want to see if Gale can sense the signal, though? Gale, close your eyes and meditate.
So actually, yeah, why don't you give me a spirit?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to assist with weird science.
Okay.
I'm kind of going through the, this is what it might feel like, and, signal strengths and all of that nonsense. I don't know. I have an 6 for weird science, so let me... a 5 assists.
Okay, so you can sense his signal. It's close enough. You're all part of the same squad.
Science.
It is faint. He's not communicating on any sort of comm link that you're able to find. And so that only makes Sunstreaker more nervous.
Y'all, I don't think he's doing so well. If we are gonna do something, we need to do it fast. His signal sounds really weak.
Oh.
All right, then I say we get out on this boat. We get you out on the road as quickly as possible. Chart a way to get to the shore that does not go through town, if at all possible. Get Cup and Sunstreaker over there. Possibly Red Alert, although she will draw much more attention than 2 beat-up trucks rather than an old ambulance. But get who you can, where
Red
you
Alert
can.
is like, I will stay in case there is trouble. Or
Okay.
Bulkhead needs
Well, and
immediate attention.
And we'll try and get him to you as fast as possible. But let's get out there and go and get him out.
So you climb into the boat. Who's gonna do the piloting of the boat? Who has the best drive?
I have a D4.
Okay, so
I think he's the only one with drive.
wait.
Do I need to repair it?
That's just what I was gonna say. It does not work.
Okay, because she would have looked at it earlier
Mm-hmm.
when they were sitting around. So she would have gone ahead and worked with that engine, knowing that they probably could use that or needed that. So if it didn't turn over or whatever, she's like, oh shit, I forgot to do this connection or something like that. She would have gone in and fixed
Right.
that really quick.
Yeah. And you did it. Like, it's working again. Perhaps better than it has. Not quite, but I mean, it is definitely working. And so, yeah, you all get in, kind of rev the engine, and start heading out. And you can basically get the idea. Gale, you and Cup and Red Alert, well, not Red Alert, she stays behind. You and Cup and Verity and Megan all hop in Cup. Megan and Verity hop in Cup, and you hop in Sunstreaker, and you head to the edge of town where the docks were there. And the ground's pretty stable there, and just testing the water out, you can move a significant way through up to your waist. Now, as you guys ping back and forth to each other as you're growing closer to Bulkhead's signal, you would notice that basically if you keep heading straight, you guys are coming from town like this way, and you will intersect at each other at a certain point deeper within the swamp. Now, the water is getting too deep for Gale to continue to meet you guys that way. Like, he will have to walk on the bottom. But there is a small island that one of the Transformers could probably wade to, and it would be close enough for, depending on the length of the chain, really, but likely close enough for Cup to stand on and get some grip. And he could wade out to it a lot easier than a human-sized something.
It just occurred to me, if we do this in the dead of night, that's gonna look like really weird lights going off in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, swamp gas does that, and I mean, like, I'm sure they've seen alien presences before. It's not like they're going to be all that worked up about it. It's a rural town. They've seen alien sightings.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Yep. Federation
so to be clear, our cover for this operation is aliens.
Yes.
Which our
true.
robots are.
You're right.
This is a bad cover.
So
If there's
I'm
nothing
not sure
here,
we've got time to wait until nighttime, do we?
if there's nothing here but Bulkhead, let's just call Cup. If there's nobody here, I mean, Cup's what, like a beat up military jeep? It's not that uncommon to see that. You know, it's not like an ambulance or a,
right.
you know, Sunstreaker's hot rod. It's a jeep.
And it looks like it's far enough outside of town. If it's deeper in the swamp or the bayou, that it's not going to be
super visible. It's
not even that
visible.
weird for a jeep to be running out in the swamp to pull something out.
Right,
well,
exactly.
No, but I mean, like, I think when he said wade out, I think he has to transform into like actual arm mode so that he can grab and drag.
If it's far enough out that it's not going to be seen, let's just do it now.
Okay, so have Sunstreaker keep watch and have Cup go out to the
island.
To the island and see if they can.
Okay, so with that, Cup.
And I'm like, does somebody want to help me out of this mud? Because I'm like sinking like up to here now.
Cup would pick you up and place you on his shoulder. As he begins to wade out towards this swamp, towards this like island in the swamp, and you guys are in the boat trying to find exactly where Bulkhead is. So, Kate, why don't you and Tetra, since she's there to help you, you're working with Shortwave to help do this. So give me your electronics, and Tetra, you can give me your weird science.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Nice.
Tetra's blew up.
I know a thing or two about science.
Right, and so...
That's a 17 for listeners at home.
You know exactly where this is. And it is a little distance from Cup. It is. You hope that this chain can reach it as you steer the boat out in that direction. Now, all of you in the boat give me a notice.
This is where I botch.
Tetra doesn't notice, but Andrew.
Of course
and
not.
Kate
I never
do.
notice. There has been no point in which I've noticed Andy.
She is. You're just like still fidgeting with things with shortwave, like trying to get a better, I don't know, idea of exactly how he's positioned wherever he is, or something. And so you don't notice, but you guys feel
And nobody was surprised.
Great. Something grind against the bottom of the boat, and you see a large shape move underneath the boat through the water.
I ain't going in that water. I'm gonna give you 9 to 10. That's either an alligator or a crocodile. I don't know which one is in these parts, but no.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have sent you in anyway. Oh,
So somebody's
fun.
got to go in the water and get the chains. Who's it gonna be?
Nope.
Said
I
Tetra,
am going
fully
to-
not
like-
realizing it.
No. So Kate, I'm actually going to see if this boat's been sitting for a while. She didn't clean it out very well. There was a little bit of stuff to be done with the propeller. There may be other things on there. Kate would try and see if she can use, like, if Shortwave changed into other things, there is a possibility that he could help her with, like, a hook or something. But what she's going to try and do is MacGyver I think it's, or Mr. Fix-It. I can't remember if it's Mr. Fix-It or MacGyver. I think it's MacGyver.
MacGyver, yeah.
She's going to try and MacGyver a hook or something that she can stick down there to find out exactly where he is.
Okay.
And then possibly if she can do a connection or a wire with Shortwave, so that not that she can see, but that he can tell her where to hook to try and grab whatever she needs to grab and pull it up, rather than having to go down.
Gotcha.
Like send a person down. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
I like this
first,
plan.
you're going to start assembling this rod.
I don't understand why we can't just dive down and grab the chains.
If you want to get eaten by whatever that thing is that just hit the boat,
What
you be my
thing?
guest.
Nothing hit the boat. What are you talking about?
It did. You're just.
You're
might
just
get done.
oblivious.
All of you
Something,
give
yeah.
me an athletics that are in the boat.
Can I not?
My athletics
Where
is
is
crazy.
my?
Uh-oh.
What is going
Oh,
on with
mine
my
blew
thing?
up. Andrew, do you have
Oh, here it is.
a Benny?
Yes, I do have a Benny. I will spend it. We're getting towards the end of the session anyway.
There we go.
Nice.
That's better.
So something strikes the boat harder this time, causing everyone to almost flip out of the boat. The boat is rocking violently back and forth as this large, you hear this almost grunt groan as it's like, as it
Hey,
swims past the boat again.
Hey, Andy.
Uh-huh.
Is the thing that's attacking us, does it count as a wild card villain?
Yep.
Let's get it talking. I have played the villainous verbosity card. Play to make an opposing wild card. Lose his next action by gloating or talking about his master plan.
He's just licking his chops and thinking how good we're gonna taste.
It's a wild card villain. I want to.
All
Let's
of
get
a
a talking
sudden,
alligator. Jesus
Let's
Christ.
get it talking.
all of a sudden,
I don't think it's an alligator.
all of you give me
Tick.
another athletics check real quick.
But hey, if we get a talking alligator, even better. I'm gonna Benny that for sure. Still no. Well,
Okay, so Tetra goes in this time as this thing strikes the boat, and you hear it now, metal on metal. And rising above the water is a gigantic crocodile head. And it rises up out of the water, and it's metal, but it's rusted and has lots of water damage to it. It's starting to turn green, and it has moss caught on it. It actually looks like a crocodile or alligator would, and then its head folds down, and you're greeted with purple eyes and two massive cannons.
Aren't you
What color are the eyes?
pretty? They're purple.
Hello there.
And everybody knows evil things have red eyes, so
Kate is infatuated with this thing.
I'm gonna try to get myself in the boat.
Now, okay, give me an athletics, and
Yeah, you failed that for you.
you're trying to get back in the boat,
Yeah, no.
and it's like, what are you all doing here?
We're
Trying to get back in my boat.
We're trying to recover a friend. We think they're a friend, at least.
You can't
You.
have it.
Why not?
And now all of you give me a notice roll.
Yep. As always, Petra notices nothing.
Tetra's just struggling getting in the water, or getting out of the water. She can't get in the boat. And
The
so,
swamp is so slippery.
and so you guys would notice that there is a Decepticon logo on its chest that becomes apparent as mud and grime slides off. And
That's
now we are going to, let's see how much time we have. Good, we're going to deal initiative.
Oh, shit.
Do we have any weapons on this boat, or am I?
I have a gun,
That's
but I
good.
think that's all we have.
That's good. I like it. I'm into it. Well, I liked my character. Guess I can reroll something stealthy.
Initiative.
Okay.
Oh wait, he's
Let
doing
me
the
do
dealing
this
cards.
now. Okay, everyone's gonna get a new initiative card. Okay, so it will start with Caitlin first. Now, Caitlin, this thing bursts out of the water and transforms before you. You're like, oh, you're pretty, and then you see the Decepticon logo. He's like, the Energon is mine.
Does that ring a bell to me?
Give me a common knowledge.
Does that ring a bell to me?
Not to you.
Oh, nope. She's
hmm.
too stressed out about
Yeah.
what's going on apparently.
Right.
to even...
And this thing looks like it's going to attack. So what do you want to do?
How far away is it from the boat?
It is basically standing between,
Right next to us?
like right in front of the boat. Like it's interrupted your path forward. But you were almost right on top of where Bulkhead was.
Okay. What I mean by how close is it is, would it be possible for Kate to get onto it with a leap?
Yeah, give me an athletics.
Oh, good. We're doing the same thing.
I made a 4.
Okay, so you climb on. You
Yeah,
like
she's
run
jumping
and
on. Yeah, she runs at him and goes, "You look like you could use some repair," and jumps onto him and flips or like tries to scurry around to the back of his head.
okay, so
Okay.
so you're on him. We will go to Tetra now. Tetra, what are you doing? You're trying to swim and keep your head above
Yeah,
water.
I have a question. It says I have 2 conviction. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. You you remember how I really messed up the Panthers Day by pulling out wires and kind of just yanking stuff out? I'm gonna do that again, and I'm going to dump everything into killing this Decepticon.
Okay, so you are going to have to climb up him. You're in the water and only at like his shin level, you know.
And he doesn't have any wires in his shin, Andy?
I mean, he's got leg plates. It's not going to be as easy to get to as
With 2 convictions and a D6 in weird science.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely give it a go for sure.
I'm going for it. I'm killing a Decepticon.
Give me your athletics first.
Oh, can't I just, not do athletics?
This is where you need.
Oh, okay, it's a 4.
Oh no.
Okay, all right. So you make it. You swim, right? Like you dive into the water, and it's murky and awful, and you swim up to his leg, and he's distracted by Kate climbing onto him like a spider monkey, and then you're clutched to his legs, climbing up out of the water.
Yeah.
Now go ahead and give me your repair plus or
Weird science?
weird science. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, conviction. I'll just roll another weird science.
There you go.
No, I'm not done with you. Oh, I really want you dead. I don't know how that worked with Does that...
So let me.
I don't understand how that ends up working out. I just dropped... I should have done a regular D6. That's my bad.
So let's see here. What did you do?
I rolled a 4, and then I did a conviction. And I just dropped another weird science because that's a D6, and that might have been my mistake.
Well, and
Yeah,
both
because
of
you rolled
them-
2d6 there.
Just roll 1d6.
So the D6 conviction doesn't explode?
the conviction does explode,
The
but I
conviction
think
does
both of them
explode,
exploded.
That's what I think
Oh
happened.
no, conviction doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just re-roll this then. That's 1, and then here's the second conviction.
And then that
Nice.
explodes.
Oh, that one does explode. Does it?
Conviction does. I
Yeah.
didn't think conviction exploded.
Conviction explodes.
Oh,
Okay, so there we go.
So 14
18
plus that
total?
4. Yeah.
I play Let's Settle This. Oh, it has to be at the beginning of a combat round with no jokers. Oh, man. I really wanted to kill it. All right, never mind then.
So here, I'll pass that back to you.
Oh, I wanted to kill it.
Oh, wait, that didn't work. Oh, well.
If you're not willing to wrestle a Decepticon crocodile to death in a swamp,
So,
are you really playing Transformers?
now how much was that total? I'm sorry.
So that would be 4 plus 5 is
18.
9, 18.
18, so it's got a toughness. That is... It is enough to shake it and wound it.
We're wrestling crocodiles.
Now, where are
In the
it?
swamps of
Oh, right.
Louisiana.
Ugh.
And it only cost me everything I had.
So it is shaken, and alright, so you climb onto his leg, and he's turning around to try to knock Kate off, and you find a way in through his armor plating just long enough to snip the equivalent of his like Achilles tendon on the backside.
Yeah,
And
eat it.
he falls backwards, disappearing into the water. Now Kate is on his back when this happens.
Oh.
So I do want to note that as soon as she jumped on, she would have expected him to dive. So she would have been taking a big breath, but that doesn't mean if he falls on her
Right.
that she's not losing
Oh,
that
no.
breath.
So give me an athletics.
Oh no. Oh, oh no.
Benny that.
Oh no, I killed Kate. Oh no. Oh no.
Nope, we're gonna Benny that.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I made it.
Okay. So that's exactly what's going to happen is with the force of the water rushing against you and the weight of him as it sinks, he's fallen back into a deeper part of the swamp. And so all of this happening kind of sticks you to the back of him. And
Oh no.
it takes you a few tries, but eventually you push yourself off just as he goes crashing into the mud. Now, he is not down or out. He pushes himself up, and you see him start to transform again underwater, back into his crocodile mode. Where
Andy,
yeah,
Andy, can I play a card for the group?
yeah,
even though I'm
for
not
sure. Yeah.
there? It is. I don't know how I show it. Bullseye.
Just drag it into the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
It doubles the damage after they attack him.
Oh my
Range.
god.
That's a ranged attack.
So, okay. Oh, a ranged attack? Yeah. Let's see. Of a ranged
Choose them.
attack. Well, no one has used a ranged attack yet. But it is... Well, it's Croc's turn now.
He still. Did I not skip his action with the verbose villain?
He... Oh, what did it say that? Verbose
Yeah,
villain?
it skips his turn and
Okay, so, yeah,
he
sorry.
spends the moment gloating about how he's gonna murder us all.
Okay, so basically that's what's happening. He's like, I will kill you. And you hear it rumbling up from the water. Kate, you can hear it in there as the eyes, you can see the purple glow of the eyes as he's transforming into this giant crocodile. Now,
That's big talk for somebody who's leaking hydraulic fluid.
Andrew, that means it's your turn.
Yes, and he's currently under the water, so I can't actually shoot him. Thank you, Tetra.
Listen, I don't see anybody else getting off a wound on him. He's got metal plating and transformer alloy, and you gotta stick your hand in there and pull out some wires.
You could fire into the water if you want.
Can I set it so that as soon as he emerges from water,
Yeah,
I take a
you can actually hold your action.
And that's what I'll do.
Okay, so
As soon as I can see his face.
Now we're gonna go to Ash, just to touch on him for a little bit. So Ash, Marissa gets out of the shower. You guys we're gonna skip forward a little bit. You have a relaxing evening and do or not have a romantic relations. Then you are driving now the rest of the way. It is late afternoon as you're pulling into a very small town in a part of Louisiana called Madison Parish.
Okay.
You know that Sunstreaker is close. And now, yeah, why don't you give me a spirit check? Okay, so you are not in danger of this, but as you get closer to Sunstreaker's signal, Sideswipe the glow of the console on the inside goes from blue to red. And he doesn't care if there are humans around and transforms with you and Marissa still in the vehicle. Give me an athletics check.
This is gonna hurt.
I mean, back at base, Sunstreaker is with Red Alert and Megan and the other girl. What's her name?
No, weren't they on the shore?
Sunstreaker
Were
was
they?
keeping watch, yeah.
Yeah, he was keeping watch for Cup.
But they are there. Megan and them are there.
All right.
So he transforms with you guys in the car and sends you both flying. And you muster that inner technology that you have, and you sprint out of nowhere and catch her before she even hits anything, you know, like basically snatch her mid-flight right out of the air and land a few feet away. Now, Sideswipe is beelining towards the edge of town, and he is a giant robot. You hear people screaming as they scurry away in the streets away from this.
Can I say my armor has a special effect to where I go into combat, it forms around me instead of it always being on me?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's the same way that Gale's works.
Alright. I thought it'd be good flavor text. So.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. You look human most of the time.
Enough. Human enough.
Human enough. Yeah.
It gives, I know it said for me, it like gives people sort of
It's like the uncanny
a weird,
valley.
like almost human, maybe not.
And what are you gonna do?
I activate that while grabbing her while we're flying through the air, like you said. And then when I land on my feet, I pursue after Sideswipe, yelling, "Where are you going? Get back here!"
I'm going to kill my brother. And then, Gale, as you're on the shore, or waiting out in the water with Cup, give me a notice.
Alright. Oof. I'm gonna Benny that.
Okay.
Don't forget we have table bennies too. I don't know how many we have at this point.
We have
2.
2, yeah.
As far as I know.
Ugh, I want to do it again.
Do it, you've got
I've got
bennies.
Yeah. Use the table benny.
Oh, he had another of his own.
Oh.
Well.
Or Gale.
Or conviction. Do you have a conviction?
You do
I
have
do. I still have
conviction.
2 more bennies too. So.
We're gonna want to notice the giant angry robot coming
Yeah,
for our
I
green
know.
angry robot.
Okay, better.
Perfect. So you turn around and you see Sideswipe charging forward, and you see Sunstreaker being like, "Brother!" And then he's like, "Brother?" Noticing the red eyes before decked, and he flies backwards and lands partially in the swampy water, you know? Then
I would look at Cap and I'd be like, "Cup, throw me over there," like sort of like a fastball special, like over to Sunstreaker.
okay, so
And I'm gonna try to
Superhero land.
as I'm flying through the air so that I can maybe land on Sunstreaker and transform into him. maybe?
Okay, so first, give me your athletics. As Cup begins to prepare to pitch you. And he's like, Sideswipe! Get a hold of yourself! What are you doing?
Ugh. I'm not prepared. I'm gonna land like a rock.
Do you want to Benny that?
That's my last one. I might as well, right?
We have 3 table bennies now too, so you could use those.
Yeah.
Ooh. Whoa.
Nice. So
Nice.
he pitches you, and you even do like a little somersault in the air as your armor begins to appear over you. The headpiece starts to come up. A faceplate comes down. You're seeing through like a blue hollow heads-up display type.
And I scream out as this is happening because it's painful.
It is painful. Your arms and legs collapse inward, and as you are flying through the air,
Welcome to the club.
Give me a spirit. Perfect. So, as you're flying through the air, Sideswipe stands up and catches you. And then his head folds in.
Sideswipe does?
I mean,
Or-
sorry.
I was like,
Sunstreaker.
no!
Sunstreaker.
I'm gonna die!
He stands up and catches you. And slides you in. Now, Sideswipe isn't paying attention immediately and raises a cannon.
Can I still play an adventure card that I want to do this round, or is that too many actions? Or
You can play an adventure card whenever.
because I'm gonna take this time for us to prepare and play parlay.
Okay.
So that before he shoots that cannon, we have a chance to transform and try to communicate some reason into him.
So you do. So you transform, right? Collapse inward. You are now Sunstreaker's head. And what are you going to say? Give me a persuasion. Now, also, Ash, you're running behind him, and you see the group, and you see someone transforming the same way as you, being placed within Sideswipe. His head is different now.
Sunstreaker.
God, why?
It's okay.
So you see that Sunstreaker has a lot of similarities to the Sideswipe's new head when you are the head.
Oh, this is not gonna be good.
So
I'm still trying to reason with Sideswipe
Okay, so Gale,
as I'm pulling my gun.
what are you saying, Gale?
I am like, oh gosh, I don't even know him. So I'm like, all right, Sunstreaker, what is something you remember from your past? Anything, something you guys shared together.
He's like, tell him to remember the time back on Iacon when we were both fighting over the same fembot.
Wait. Remember that time I was supposed to play your wingman and where was this?
Iacon.
Iacon?
Iacon, and you were trying to hook up with that pretty fembot, and then I got in the way. Remember how mad you were at me? But you didn't want to kill me then, and you shouldn't want to kill me now, right?
And
We're brothers.
you see the red flickering. And faltering between red and blue as he like begins clutching his head.
I'm like, look, we know you're in there. We can help you. Please just put the cannon down. We can help you. We have a medic. They fixed me. They can fix you.
So we are moving to round 2 now. Oh, and we're already at time. Is that okay? Do we need to stop here? I can do the keep the
rather
initiative.
finish the encounter if we can.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. I mean,
else.
we can go ahead and finish the encounter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't want to keep anyone. So Tetra oh wait, Andrew was on hold. He needs to come off hold. Do you? So you can see the shore and what's happening there too.
They seem to be diffusing that.
Just blind shot into the water.
So yeah.
Okay.
Don't critical fail.
Yes, because Kate,
Kate
is underwater.
You shoot Kate.
Because Kate's right next to this guy's head.
So
Take advantage of that bullseye.
oh yeah, there you go. The
And before
bullseye.
Kate gets bullseyed.
I try to shoot.
Okay.
Alright, that's a 4. That's good.
Not enough.
Didn't think it would be. Ooh, I can add conviction to that though, can't I?
Yes.
I'll add a conviction.
Roll another d6. Yeah.
Okay,
7
yeah.
total.
There you go. So now roll for your damage.
Then use that
bullseye.
and double it.
Yeah. So
Up to 20.
You fire into the water and
It pierces Kate's heart.
it is a close shot, but for some reason, so that is, you kill him. You kill him.
I mean, he was in the middle of transformation.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So
He was in the middle of transformation.
as he's in the middle
so that
of
makes
transforming back to his crocodile mode, your bullet flies into the water, leaving the ripple effect, as it pierces his optic. And you see the purple, splinter for a second, and then shatter and do, a micro explosion as the purple lines start tracing all over his body like electricity. And
Please don't explode.
He's going to explode. You guys see just a huge explosion, so much so that Kate, give me an athletics.
Five.
5. So, you get blasted out of the water, right? And are flying through the air, and you end up hanging over a branch, midsection wise, and you're like, ugh. You're like, good shot or something, right?
That was cool. Best flying lesson ever.
Shout out to Jay's hand that just showed up on the stream too.
Oh, that's awesome. And so back to the shore where Gale, why don't you give me Gale and Ash, you're both trying to talk them down now. So why don't who's going to be acting as lead?
Well,
Ash,
I'm gonna try it.
What is
see
your
if I can...
what is your
what-
persuasion?
Let me double check. It's 4.
I have a 6. So
So you act as lead. Ash, give me a persuasion.
ugh.
So
That table bennies. If you guys don't
I
have
will
it,
Yes.
use the table benny if the group allows me.
yeah,
Yes,
you've got two
please
left.
use them.
Yeah,
This
but
is...
Gale's attempt was a critical.
Oh.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
no, it
Sorry,
wasn't. No.
just a trait.
Ugh.
My bad.
Okay, I'll try again.
Do you just put the table benny on, and Andy?
Oh,
No, you just
this is
reroll.
not good.
Oh,
Use it again.
Flip has
I
another
added
one.
a table benny. There's more where that came from too.
I
we
still did
have 5.
terrible.
Yep, we have one last table Benny available for you at the moment. Gale?
Here, I'm
Use all of
gonna.
the table bunny.
All right.
Actually, we have 2 more.
And I'm about to do another one, just in case.
3 more.
Okay, so. Oh,
Okay,
it's
there's
better.
a 4.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So you would have made a 5 because
Yeah.
Ash made a 5, so we would have added 1. So we've gotten rid of 3 table bunnies at this point. We've got 2 left.
So you.
3 left.
We're good, right? We're
4.
good with that roll. That was successful.
Yeah, that was successful. So you both.
We have the table bennies.
Hold it. Yeah.
The session's almost over. Why not go for the exploding die?
Okay.
Yeah, just burn it.
Because
the
if you
session's
crit fail,
basically over.
you can't re-roll.
Yeah. Don't.
If you can't, you
if
can't
you've got
Benny
it,
if you
if you-
crit fail.
I've got
Wow.
it. I'm stopping there.
That's
I'm
fair.
obviously not getting that.
So I mean, you're welcome to keep trying, but if you crit
No.
fail something, so you
No,
see
I don't wanna
him-
die.
You see Sideswipe warring with himself, just straight up battling it out mentally, and he's about to raise the gun again and fire at Cup, and who's still got his hand up like, no, brother, it's us, trying to talk to him. And then his system locks up. He goes catatonic and just collapses then. Now,
Okay,
now we
well.
have to drag 2 Transformers back to Red Alert.
and now there's still the issue of Bulkhead. Do we want to deal with that, or do?
Yep.
So, Kate, give
Kate-
me a notice.
I would
Kate was
also
going to,
like to see if we can salvage Crocodile Friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works there.
So, okay, you would have seen Bulkhead underwater. The faint blue glow of his eyes.
Okay. So I'm on a branch. If I can see what direction they were, and I know approximately where they are in relation to the boat,
Uh-huh.
she's gonna dive into the water. Actually, she'll
Nice.
probably just jump into the water. She's not gonna be fancy about it. She's just gonna
Okay.
jump into the water, cannonball kind of shit.
Uh-huh.
And go over there. And what she's going to try and do is, so that we can salvage the crocodile dude too, is possibly link Bulkhead's, like, if he's got 2 chains or some way to connect. She's going to go underwater and try and connect that one first.
Okay.
Go up, grab some air, go back down, grab another chain, pull it up to the boat, and just hook it
Gotcha.
over the edge of the boat, and then get back into the boat so that her and Andrew can get the boat over towards Cup so that
Right.
he can pull it out.
So give me an athletics.
This is why I didn't want you to.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Okay, so, alright, you dive in, you get the chain. Bulkhead kind of looks at you weakly, his eyes flickering a little bit. He's got this massive jaw, like, underbite type of thing. Like, his face just says wrecker. And,
I'm gonna wreck it.
and he gives you, like, a weak thumbs up,
And she kind of waves back and thumbs up, and then she's gonna go like this, and then she's gonna swim up with the chain.
Now give me another athletics to dive back down, loop it around Croc.
I'm gonna Benny that. I still have 1 Benny, and then
And the table bennies too.
nope. Okay, how many table bennies? I think we've got 3
3.
left.
3.
I'm gonna use a conviction
Okay,
on that 3.
nice. So 8.
8. So it's a That's a raise.
Yeah, so you
Nice.
loop it around him, and it's definitively secure, and you've got just enough slack to pull it up to the surface to where Cup can lean from where he is and start hauling it. Now, he needs help, so Sideswipe actually transforms...
Not Sideswipe.
Sunstreaker transforms back to himself, placing you on the ground, Gale. And starts...
Am I just like a torso and the head laying on the ground now?
No, your arms pop back out as it's part of the transformation process as he moves out to the water and starts helping tug them to shore. And we will end there.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back next week.
We killed a Decepticon.
You killed a Decepticon. And so, yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode. Again, catch us tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for Survive This Fantasy with a couple of guest star people streaming with us. And yeah, you guys just be safe, have a good afternoon, and we will see you all later.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.